Welcome back to lesson 115. We are going to talk about linear inequalities. So far, when we have talked about linear functions, they have all been equations. Now we're getting into when they are inequalities, and that is when they're using the greater than or less than symbol. So if you are thoughtful about this, you will see that when we use the equal sign, like for instance in this linear function, the equal sign itself is the line. Okay? When we use this line, we graph this line. Let's put this on here. We have 0, 1 is our y-intercept because of base 1. And we're going to go up 1 over 2, up 1 over 2, up 1 over 2, right? And that's our line right there. Okay? So that's our line. We can pick a point either above or below the line and test it to see what the inequality is going to be for that area. Let me actually stretch this line out a little bit. When you're doing these inequalities, it's a good idea to go from side to side, from the edge of the graph to the edge of the graph. And I'll show you why in just a moment. Let me go back to my pen. Let's pick a point up here. Let's pick 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. All right, this is above the line, right? And this is 4, 4, above the line. We can test this point and see what type of inequality it is. And we can do that by switching this sign here. So we're going to say, because it's 4 and 4, we're going to sub in 4 and 4 for the y and x. So 4, let's do greater than first, half of 4 over 1, because x is 4 as well, plus 1. So that's going to be 4 over 2. So 4 is greater than 4 over 2 plus 1. Okay, 4 is greater than 4 over 2 is 2 plus 1. That's 3. So this statement is true. So on this side of the line, y is greater than 1/2 x plus 1. We know that the line itself is equal to 1/2 x plus 1. And then by process of elimination, we know that below the line, y is less than 1/2 x plus 1. Okay? So you can see kind of how that works. The line itself is the equal sign, and then what you test a point on either side to figure out where the inequalities lie, whether it's less than or greater than. Okay? So given that information, let's do the graphing of an inequality. Let's jump into 115.1. So let me clear the page. So here we go. There. So I did this earlier so that I would have these and I don't have to draw them every time. All right, so let me get my pen back. We are going to graph the inequality y is greater than negative x plus 2. Okay, so first we have to draw the line. And in that regard, our y-intercept is going to be 0, 2. So we are going to find 0, 2. This is 0, 2 right here. That's our point. Okay, and we have negative 1 over positive 1 as our rise over 1 because this is an imaginary 1 right here. And negative 1 over 1 is negative 1. So it's going to be down 1 over 1. So down 1 over 1 down 1 over 1, down 1 over 1, and so forth and so on. Now, I am not going to draw a line. Why are you not going to draw the line, Miss Tracy? I can continue because I know the slope now. I could see it's going to be right here. The reason I'm not going to draw the line is because this is not equal to the line. It is greater than the line. So all you're going to do is just fill in with some dots in between the points so that you can make kind of a dotted line because it is not equal. If it had said greater than or equal to, then you could draw the line as a solid line. But right now we're looking for what is when y is greater than this. So what we're going to do is we're going to pick a point on this side, right? Let's pick right here. This point is 2, 3. That's the point. So we're going to test all the values on this side of this boundary. So let's drop in 3 for y and negative 2 for x plus 2. So 3 is greater than 0. Is 3 greater than 0? Yes, that is true. So what that tells me is that everything on this side is going to be greater, that this is what we're looking for. So what you want to do when you have that situation is you want to shade it in. All right, and so I'm going to take this line here and I'm going to delete the line just so I can leave behind a shading. All right, and I think I can, yeah. So what you'll do is you'll just color this in, right, with your pencil or a highlighter. Highlighters work pretty well for this. But this is how you know, and you're gonna label it, y is greater than x plus 2. So the shaded portion is this value. Okay? You see how to do that? That looks pretty cool, huh? All right, so let's do another one. We're going to do 115.2. So let me clear this page. And let me drop my graph back in. And I'm going to line it back up over here on a line. All right, so now we go back to my pen. And the graph that we're going to do now is y is less than or equal to 2x minus 1. Okay, so first we need to graph the line. And because we have an equal symbol here, we can actually draw the line in its entirety. So our y-intercept is -1 and 0, so it's going to be right here. And 2 over 1 is going to be our slope. So we're going to go up 2 over 1, up 2 over 1, up 2 over 1. So this is going to be our line. Let me see right here, I think. And let that pop in. And then I can find the edge here. Yeah, that's about right. So now this is my line, okay? Now I need to find a point to test on this side of the line. So let's just pick this one here. That's a good one. And this is going to be 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2 is below, so it's -2. Okay, so let's test for -2 and see if it makes the statement true. So -2 is y. And we're going to put in 4 for x. So 2 times 4 is 8 minus 1. So -2 is less than 7. Is -2 less than 7? Yes, it is. So that means that this is the side where this statement is true. Let's pick a point over here and make sure that this is going to be greater than. Okay? This is 1, 2, 3, 4. That's -4. And 1, 2, 3. So positive 3. So let's try that point. So if we sub in 3 is less than or equal to, and we have -4. 2 times -4 is -8 minus 9. 3 is less than or equal to that should be, I'm going ahead and doing the math in my head before I finish. That's going to be -9, right? That's not true. So that tells me this is the side we want. So I can go ahead and I can draw my shape, and I'm going to do that now. And I'm just going to get really close to my border. Okay, and then I'm going to tap on my line and Control Z. And there's my shading. And my line is solid because it has the equal sign, okay? So I can label this side Y, let me get back on my pen, is less than or equal to 2x minus 1. And that's how you would do that. You shade it in. If it says equal to, you make sure the line is solid, and then you label that side with the true statement. Okay? You could even say over here, y is greater than 2x minus 1, because it's the opposite of less than or equal to, is greater than. Okay? All right, so we have one more. Let's clear this page. These are kind of fun. This is 115.3. Let's drop in our graph. Put it over here. Right? And our graph is y. Ooh, not the right thing. Y is greater than -2. Okay? All right, so in the figure, we are going to graph the line y equals -2. And the line for that is right here. We find the -2 line. And because this does not have an equal sign here, we're just going to do the dotted line, right? To show that it's not equal. But we are going to do it right at the -2 line, all the way across till we get to the edge of our graph. Now we are going to test. We are going to test. So we're going to pick a point, and let's pick 0, 0, because it's an easy point to pick. So let's put in the y value here. So is 0 greater than -2? Yes, 0 is greater than -2, so that is true. So we are going to draw in our shape. We're going to shade it in. Let me let this turn into a rectangle, and then I will get rid of the border and line that up. You guys will be able to do that a lot better by hand than I can do on the computer. But still, we see what part needs to be shaded, and then we can write in y is greater than -2. Because all of these values are greater than -2. And we kind of knew that anyway, because -3 is less than -2, right? -4 is less than -2. -1 is greater, 0 is greater, 1's greater. So you really didn't have to solve it. You could just deduct that by looking at the graph itself. But there you go. That's the answer to 115.3. So we have one more remaining and then we're done. Let's clear the page. Let me drop in my graph. Just line it up so we can have the tick marks in the right spot. Okay, so now our line that we need to graph. We need to graph the following inequality. X is less than 3. So very similar to the y, only this time it's going to be a vertical line because it's on the x-axis. There's no equal sign under here, so we're going to do a dotted line on 3. So this is the 3 point. So we're just going to do a little dotted line all the way down our chart. Make sure to fill the chart from the top to the bottom boundary. Okay? So now we have to figure out if this side or this side makes a statement true. And again, let's just pick the 0 because it's easy, all right? So 0 for the x value is 0 less than 3. Yes, 0 is less than 3. So we can draw in our shading. Let me see if I can get this straight or close. Okay, and I'll take off the border. So now this is perfectly shaded over here, and we can write x is less than 3 because everything on the x-axis to this side is less than 3. Pretty cool. And that's all we have for lesson 115. So rewind, watch it again, see if you can understand, make sense of why we are shading now on our graphs. And I hope you guys have a great rest of the day. I will see you in lesson 116.